Underneath houses in the crawl space, you tend to find ground animals like opossums and skunks, maybe some rats or a groundhog. But if your house is sitting on the water, well, that all changes and things can get real interesting. Those animals aren't going to get under there, but there's one that can. And he'll make you lose sleep at night. This house is being renovated. Crew is here putting in new decking, has put new siding on it. The homeowner, who happens to be an engineer, has floated thousands of pounds of steel I-beam out to put under the house to reinforce it. But while he's been working on top, there's another crew that's been down below doing their thing. Engineer against engineer. This is a little bit of the debris that the beavers have packed underneath. There's still a ton under there that's going to have to be pulled out. That's not the biggest problem though. They're wanting to chew on support beams underneath the building in the middle of the night even, and you can't sleep when the beaver's chewing on the bottom of your house and you're over 80 feet of water. Really hard to take a nap that way. Also, there's plastic tanks that hold the house up. Beavers may be chewing on them. They've already cut the top off the blackwater tank where the sewage waste goes, and that had to be replaced. The house is starting to tilt a little bit. A little scared about what's happening underneath there. This is a body grip trap. This is what traditional fur trappers would have used to catch beaver. The beaver would swim through the square in the middle, hit the little wires hanging down, and fire the trap, and the trap would squash the beaver. Beaver squashing requires a lot of power because they are big animals, and it takes a giant set of tongs just to be able to compress the springs on each side of that trap. Once the springs are compressed, you set the safety latch. Now I use the term safety latch in kind of a tongue-in-cheek kind of way because I really don't feel that there's too much safe about this process. I rarely use these traps, and I honestly don't like them. But once your springs are compressed, you're going to use your giant set of tongs again to fully close the jaws and set the dog and the trigger, and your trap is ready to go. Now I want you to understand what I'm talking about when I say this trap is dangerous. This is a piece of PVC pipe. Pretty well decimated the pipe. This is a cage trap for beavers. It is very large because beavers are very large. A good-sized beaver can go 80 pounds. I really like this trap. I consider it far superior to the body grip fur trapper style that I just showed you. I don't have to worry about, breaking my own arm, hurting the neighbor's dog, or hurting somebody's child. So that makes me sleep a lot better. But the big question is, how am I going to set this thing up? I really can't imagine swimming underneath a floating house with body grip trap. That seems foolish, perhaps a death sentence. But I don't think swimming underneath a house and setting this thing up sounds a whole lot easier. So I'm going to have to find some sort of creative way to set this thing up so the beavers can get into it. Normally when I'm using this thing, I'm putting it in a travel corridor, a little path that they're using. You can set it up in the stream or on the dam in some sort of travel area. They're going to find it, and they go in and you catch them. But unfortunately, there is no travel corridor. These beavers can swim freely anywhere they want underneath this house. So where do you set it, and how do you get it to stay there without going to the bottom of the lake? Well, to get past that problem, I wired 2 cage traps to the underside of the building. I set them just down in the water enough so the animals could just climb in. Add a little bit of lure and bait to it, and cross my fingers. I hope this job goes quickly. I don't like the concept that the customer could wind up swimming for shore in the middle of the night in their pajamas. I think perhaps that could be a blight upon the company reputation and it would make the customer extremely unhappy. And both of those things would make me extremely unhappy. For today, though, I've done about all I can do. Traps are set, and it's just a matter of waiting for tomorrow to see what turns up. I'll make you all a video so you can see what happens. For today, though, I'm about shot. It has been a long day of trap setting. The sun's low and the shadows are long. I think I am going to head back and rustle me up a little supper and turn in. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. This is Pat the Wildlife Guy with the Wildlife Company.